I was raised Southern Baptist and attended church since I was an infant. The thing is that once church was over and we got home, there was really no talk of the service or scriptures or really anything that had to do with what we learned that day. Between my 4th and 5th grade year, that summer at GA camp, I made my profession of faith and was later baptized at my home church. And, I really, really believe that I had accepted Jesus. The thing is, I didn't know about the growth part. I guess you would say, or the way I think of it is that I knew Jesus. I believed in him and I knew Jesus, but I don't think I really knew him personally. I knew him to be a part of my life. And a little bit about my family. My mom and dad didn't have the happiest of marriages. And not that there was abuse or arguing in the house, but they just didn't have a healthy marriage. And I think being the oldest, I got the brunt of that unhappiness. So I kind of always felt like I just never could be good enough. I would be told that my grades weren't as good as somebody's, or I was messing around on the softball field instead of paying attention to what I was supposed to be doing, or just different things like that. And so my self-esteem was a little low. When I got to high school, though, I gained some notoriety because I was really fast. And so I was on the track team and I excelled at hurdles. And so, my name was known in the school. And I was very, very involved. I was in clubs, I was in Senate, I was in band, other sports. And, so it's like, well, I'm getting my attention here. And I also fell into what boys would want of me rather than, thinking that I was worth anything. After high school, I went to college. In between my sophomore and junior year of college, I got married. And the thing is, we didn't have God in our marriage. In fact, my husband, who was raised in the church, even said one time, well, I went to church all the time growing up, so I really don't need it anymore. I'm good. But big surprise, after 2 years, our marriage started falling apart. And for the next 3 years after that, I just felt like my life was miserable. I was losing weight, and I just wasn't happy. And I was teaching in a little town called Salisbury, Missouri. One day, and it's a small school district, and so everybody pretty much knows everything that's going on in your life. One day, one of the support staff came back to my room and my little office, and she laid a paper on my desk, and it had 4 scriptures on it. And she said, I want you to go home and look these up tonight, and tomorrow we're going to talk about it. Okay, so I did. Well, from then on, it was just such a great relationship. She counseled with me, she prayed with me, she really taught me how much God loved me. And after that, I was in my Bible a lot, reading and praying. But there was still that self-esteem issue that I just didn't feel worthy. It was like, I love God, but I don't know that he can really love me because look at my life, I really messed up. And in fact, I just carried my sins around like someone had put them in a big suitcase for me so I could drag them everywhere I went. But here's my sins, God, I've got them. We can't get past that. And finally, I had already moved to Blue Springs by that time. And one day it just kind of came to a head that I'm like, I know I've asked God to forgive me, but I need to do something else. So I called my friend in Salisbury and I said, I'm going to be around this weekend. Can I come and see you? And so I asked her if we could go into a private room, and I just confessed everything that had gone on in my life. And there were a lot of tears and a lot of praying, and I can tell you I felt the Holy Spirit just overwhelmingly, take over my body. All these things I was doing, God wasn't part of my life. I just put him on a shelf because I was just living for me. I was living for the world. But now my life with my family, that's not there anymore. God is a big part of our lives. And I know now I can say, not only do I know that Jesus died on the cross and I believe all that, I can say that I know Jesus personally.